Fucking go.
Hello, welcome back to the Session 12 recap of the Dark Blaze campaign setting. This one titled The Hammer and the Cell. So, the session had begun with the party arriving within Odomfell. Cloxy, having picked up on a strange paranormal difference within the town, sets us on edge slightly as we wonder what it could be about. And after a bit of talk, we eventually set off towards the ruins of the forgotten or long forgotten keep kingdom thing. Um, that we had come here to search for the Hammer of Time. Arriving, arriving there, we investigate a bit, and Thredgemos eventually, thanks to the aid of detect magic, um, notice a strange mist that is seemingly forming around us. And after a few moments, it forms into the relatively tangible shape of a woman. Human, other features are very vague and indiscernible. Uh, Stefan had asked her about the hammer that we came here for, and she said how she vaguely remembers something along the lines of that existing, but isn't really able to recall. Her memories are sort of lost in the mist, so to speak. So, Stefan, with her permission, delved into her mind to navigate its corners and perhaps draw up old memories and figure out where this hammer is. Doing so, he actually does manage to get a breakthrough, and we learn exactly where it is. Um, it is below the keep, and behind a locked door, which she just so happens to know where the key is, and essentially gets the key for us. Also, from her memories, he learns that Odomfell used to be the capital of Valeronia. Having acquired the location of the hammer, we delve into the depths of the keep. Um, uh, uh, and after a few traps, we eventually enter into the room, in which we find and take the Hammer of Time. Now, to get into this room, which we had the key for, Threadmos, being oh so clever, used the knock spell to unlock the door, and then stood up and was like, "I've got it." Uh, and oh, that was Trinks' voice. Anyways, and then realized, oh wait, we have the key for this. Great. Um, so we go in and we pick up the Hammer of Time, which is awesome. Except, uh, not all is great, as Stefan decided to scry on Tarl and learned that he's actually on his way here to confront him. So we try to desperately scramble and search for side escapes. Um, and luckily do manage to find one. And before running through it and heading back, Threadgemos had uh, created essentially a sheet of metal to block the door. It doesn't work. Um, but we begin desperately running back to the carriage, and on the way back, we decided to disguise ourselves. Um, and Thurgimos has a great idea of us disguising ourselves using our disguise self, but just adding mustache. That's it. Just a mustache on each of us. Because that makes you a completely different person based off all the forms of anything I've known. Um, and we get back to the carriage, but somehow, not only has Tarl beat us to it, but he sees through our amazing disguises. And after a all too short encounter of counter spells and teleports, Stefan is abducted. Now, with Stefan and Tarl's grip, Thread calls upon the Timekeeper for aid once again. This time, he actually does help by warping Thregimos and our companions, sidekicks, NPC allies, whatever, with us into the time plane, where Thregimos and the Timekeeper work on a plan as Stefan begins writing messages to them uh, by holding the pen in his mouth, um, and like scrawling on the page very messily. Eventually ends up swallowing the pen, so he has to like write with his own blood by biting the inside of his mouth, and it's a very gross thing. Also, um, getting frustrated with Threadmost eventually, Stefan tries messaging Trinxus and getting through. Trinxus is like, "Oh, that's awful. I'm literally incapable of moving. By the way, I miss." And Stefan closes the book, because of course he does. Um, and the session essentially wound down there, with one big question in the air: how in the hell is Threadmos going to get Stefan out of this predicament? Um, so we'll have to find that out next time. Thanks for sticking around, listening, and have a good one.